Hello and welcome to AntKast by Ant Group. This is a podcast that brings you deep into conversations with global thinkers, innovators, and entrepreneurs on groundbreaking technology and how they're shaping our lives, for better or for worse. I'm your host, Emmeline, coming to you from Singapore. Today, we invite a key leadership member from Ant Group, Regional General Manager for Southeast Asia, Mr. Jia Hang, as our guest speaker for this episode. He is among the pioneers at Ant Group to expand its international business in the Southeast Asia region, and since joining the company in 2015, Jia Hang has played many roles across different business units, from cross-border tourism, online payments, to world first. No one is more qualified than him to talk about the journey of Ant in the region. Prior to joining Ant Group, Jia Hang worked at China UnionPay and UnionPay International from 2006 to 2015, helping build the UnionPay business across the Americas from Canada to Argentina. He graduated in 1996, earning both his master's and bachelor's degree in computer science from Tsinghua University. Let's hear from Jia Hang about his career that started as an IT manager to how he became the leader of Ant Group's international business. Welcome to our podcast, Jia Hang.
Thank you, Emily.
One of the first things on my notes here say that in the company, people call you Panda. Can you tell us how the name came about?
Yes, I know that this is a very interesting name. Actually, it's my daughter to give me this name when she was only 2 years and a half. She wanted to call me Panda. And at that moment, I'm working in New York for China UnionPay. I'm trying to develop UnionPay acceptance in North America and South America. My daughter was in Shanghai, so we're doing the video conference. And because my clothes, I wear a black and white clothes, so my daughter started to call me Panda. Then since then, by now, that's become my nickname, even before I joined Ant.
You've been appointed as Ant Group's General Manager for Southeast Asia in March. I just want to say congratulations. Is this a new chapter for Ant Group globally?
I would say yes. Because as I said, right, when we try to build up our global business, of course, at the early period, everything has been managed from our headquarters, which is located in China. But when we growing the business bigger and bigger, we realize that actually each of the market, each of the region has their very unique situation. So we need the people who are willing to deep dive into that region or that market, and to really collected the partnership locally and even build up a local workforce. Like for example, we invested 2C2P. 2C2P is a very Southeast Asia based local acquirers. That's a value for the Ant, because Ant ourselves cannot simply build up such kind of big local team and the local capabilities. We realize that when you try to make the business successful, when you try to make the business really growing bigger, you have to go localized. So my new role actually is a lot of type of the simple for Ant to go localized. So we started to have localized general manager. So I can coordinate and leading different workforces, even our local partners, to work together to build up a more Southeast Asia based product or Southeast Asia based service to better serve our Southeast Asia people.
Was that something that influenced your leadership style?
It's very hard to say what is my leadership style. I think that at least I don't have the right to speak it out, right? But for me, I think that the very simple points I recognize that I think that I should I should keep is that number one is that since I was working in Canada, I started from IT engineering, and finally to become the IT manager, I'm leading a team over there, and which the team members actually come from different countries. I realize that actually the people come from different countries, has a different cultural background, and also probably has a different languages. They have a lot of their valuable points. You cannot simply use one standard or one framework try to measure or evaluate each of the colleague. You have to learn that each of them have their advantage, and each of them probably they may have some kind of weakness, but everyone is trying to improve themselves a lot and growing quickly. So the first thing I think that to be a global business leader is actually the diversity. So we need to make ourselves humble and open to all the different culture, different solution, different working style, and different ideas. And you are going to be prepared for leading a multinational nationality team. But you also gain a huge benefit from such kind of a multinationality team, because different people from the different country, they have their own skills and values. And when you put them together, if you can organize them well, then it's going to be a dramatic working force. And the second thing, the second point I would like to point out is actually kind of like my learning in my past experience is when we say leadership is not the management. We are not supposed to be manage the people, especially in the past 10 years when younger generation growing quickly. They have their own mindset, they have their own idea. So when you try to leading such kind of team, the key point is not manage them. When we say leading the team, it's more about motivate people and find out their inner energy, bring their inner energy together, find out their passion, bring their passion together. So all those kind of stress is actually come from each of the team members, and you need to find them and bring them together to become a united force. Then you can guide this force to achieve a lot of things. I myself actually is the same situation, right? When I started to working with Ant, I think that one of my most important things that I have to buy in my job. It's not my job for me is a career. It's not just a job like you're working for how many hours, you get the pay based on the hours, right? What we are doing is a kind of an innovative business, and we try to create something new, something valuable for the society. So by that, we need to have the passion inside. We are not just a machine, we are people, and we have a lot of creative ideas. So as a manager, trying to figure that out, find out your team's skills, their ideas, and trying to bring them out. That's basically the secret how I will say as a successful globalized leader.
I understand that Ant Group has a history of investing in Southeast Asia companies, such as e-wallets, and one of the latest developments we've seen the Ant Group has done was an investment into C2P, a Singapore-based fintech company. So can you share with us why it makes sense to adopt such a strategy instead of building your own capabilities?
2015, I joined Ant International. My first question from our senior management is to figure out what is the strategy for us to develop our international business. We know that before there's many other Chinese companies that are developing their international business. Simply to see, there's two types of the ways. The first way is that they try to set up their own subsidiary or branches outside of the China, and basically to doing exactly the similar business and use a similar product and technical solutions by themselves to develop the business in overseas countries. But however, you can see that it's maybe easy to implement, but it's very difficult to expand the scope, because outside of the China, it's not one country, right? We always say that there's overseas business, global business, but think about that. That overseas or global is cover more than 200 countries. Each country has a different culture, different environment, different government, different regulations. So the second one is that some of the Chinese companies, they are doing the investment outside of the China. They are not going to be run their business by themselves. More likely, kind of like just a financial investment. They can gain revenues and profits from such kind of investment, but they are not deeply, involved into local business development. When we discussed the situation in 2005, we don't like either of these two solutions. The first one is very heavy, and also we don't think that we can really develop a successful business outside of China only by ourselves, because we recognize that there's a culture gap, there's a environment gap, and many things. I still remember that in 2015, I'm leading a team. We visit many countries. In each of the country, we also meet with more than 10 potential partners. And when you know more about that country and market, actually you know more about your short side. We are successful in China, but you cannot simply copy your experience or your product to another country. That's what we learned in 2015. And on the other side, to do some kind of financial investment is also not our purpose. As you may know, right? Ant is not a company just for making the money. We want to be a company for 102 years. We want to do our contribution to this world and to the society. So that's why we are not considered about financial investment. So finally, we designed our own strategy to develop our international business started from Southeast Asia. And the purpose is that we try to doing some kind of strategy investment, but with our selected local partners. And we let local partners to own majority of the shares in that JV, because we believe that actually the JV success will be more rely on our partners' contribution, our partners' resources, and their capabilities. Yes, from the inside, we own a minority of the share. We can contribute our experience, our know-how, our product and technology to our partners. But however, when you go to that country, go to that market, the key is to provide the customer value. If you don't know your customer deeply, how you can make such kind of business successful? We leave this most important responsibility to our partner. So that become our major strategy in the later years until today. As a result, when our local partner is successful, and ourselves business are also going to get benefit and become successful in Southeast Asia.
So while working with local partners, right, do you have any specific use cases in specific countries in Asia that you can share with us?
So when we have the cooperation with Kakao to set up local mobile wallet solutions called Kakao Pay, right? today they become the largest mobile wallet in Kakao. We do have the situation. We introduced the Korea colleagues to say that in China, how to quickly make your wallet to become popular and to be used by a massive of the customers is in China we're using the red envelope. But our Korea colleague told us is that in Korea there is no such kind of culture. So red envelope or such kind of existing experience from China or product from China is not going to be work in Korea. But finally, our Korea colleagues figure out their own solutions. Korea people like to drink coffee a lot, so they always invite their colleagues or their family members or their friends go downstairs to have a cup of coffee together. But if you want to have a cup of coffee together, you got physically together, right? But however, when Kakao Pay, this mobile wallet has been introduced to Korea customers, our local partner, our Korea colleagues very smartly embedded a function so you can easily buy the coffee coupon from some kind of like integrated coffee stores, coffee chains. Then you can send in the coffee coupon to your friend, colleagues, or family members to see that I would like to invite you a cup of coffee, even you are not together, you are remotely to each other, you are in another city. And that coupon can be easily redeemed for a cup of coffee downstairs in the receivers, like close to receivers location. Our Korea colleagues build up the technology to help such kind of coffee coupon and coffee store location integrated together. So that make it become true that you can really invite people in another city, in another street, in another region to have a coffee together with you remotely. That's very interesting. But that make it become a social tours in Korea, and the Korea customers like this function a lot. They can very easily use this function to build up their own social network and enjoying their social connections. So according to our experience, yes, we can introduce the experience and the successful case in China to our partners. We are enjoying to share such kind of informations. But however, we always wait our partners to make decision if they're going to take it or not. And if they decided to take it, I know that they still need to do a lot of change to fit into the local environment and the local culture. So that's why we have the local partners, and we believe that without our local partners, we cannot make that business successful. That's why we learned that, and today we are successful in Southeast Asia because we have a bunch of the partners around here. That's our ecosystem.
That's amazing. Thank you. Alipay Plus was one of the projects that was launched, right? I'm curious, why did Ant Group launch Alipay Plus?
Basically, the journey is like this, right? When we try to build up our international business, there's basically four period. The first period is from 2009 to 2013. At that moment, we just doing some kind of simple cross-border payments online. And from 2013 to today, we started the second business line, which is supporting the China Alipay users to traveling outside of the China and make the payment by QR code offline. So that we call it cross-border traveling business. On the other side, and of course, we want to grow up and become a real global company. So which means that we need to develop the business outside of the China. Not directly rely on China. So that's why started from 2015, we started to do strategy investment those investment and those cooperation was happened started from 2015, and gradually we help our partners to growing up and build up their capabilities, develop their local market, integrated more and more use cases into their mobile payments app. Start from 2020, we are moving our strategy from support those kind of wallet locally to become how to support those wallet to become a global wallet. The reason we think about that is because, as we said, right, in the early period, we are trying to make Alipay to be used outside of the China, online or offline. So the same thing will happen to the other wallets. Wallets is not going to be just a local payment tools. It should be used widely outside of their country and global wide, right? But to help a wallet to develop its international business, international acceptance, is a very heavy and time-consuming project. You can see that since 2013, when Alipay tried to enable its global acceptance, today, almost 10 years passed. We enabled about 1 million merchants outside of China to accept Alipay online and offline. And it's very costly from time side, from money side, and from the workforce side. So we are thinking that why not support those wallets to easily get the global acceptance instead of develop those acceptance by themselves, right? On the other side, we are approaching to merchant, for example, Apple or Google Play or Airbnb or Uber or many of the other online or offline merchants. There's a strong requirement from merchant side to see that they want they already accept the bank cards with a different branding. But however, they want to accept the mobile payments because they can see that in the near future, there are more and more people to start to use mobile payment solutions. So if you are the merchant, if you consider about next 5 or to 10 years, you have to open to all the mobile payment solutions. But however, today, all the mobile payment solutions in each of the country is quite a segment. We don't know how many wallets in this world, hundreds of them, right? Because each country, there's many of them. But how to easily help a merchant to accept the wallet from all over the world? Besides that, Alipay Plus also provides the marketing solutions for the merchant. So this one-stop gateway or platform is not just to have a solution, mobile payment solution for the merchants, also have a cross-border marketing solution for the merchants. So by that, we are capable to provide merchants a much better solution, but to help the merchant to connect it and also marketing the mobile users from different countries. So you can see that this is going to be a win-win solution. On the merchant side, they can have connected with multiple mobile wallets in different countries. And from the mobile wallet side, this is a simple and easy solution to gain their global acceptance outside their home country. So that's become our fourth period strategy. That's become today's major strategy. We call it Alipay Plus.
Are there any new projects or products that we should be expecting to see in the region or that you can share about?
Yes, there's two kind of very new and innovative projects. Right now we are ongoing. You might heard that we basically applied the digital banking license from Singapore government. So digital bank, of course, is a very new concept. We are also the learners to how to make a digital bank successful, right? But the key concept is that it's not location based. It's not going to be built up a lot of branch or ATMs. It's going to be an internet based remote access and can expanding its service to much wider customers, but with a lot of online services. So that's the one thing we are doing here in Singapore. The other thing is that we are also trying to provide the new product to support merchant to easily marketing their customers through the mini program, which can embed it into different apps. We can also see that there's a very ego requirements to bring the business back. Singapore is a very hot tourism country. In the past 2 years, unfortunately, you can see that the whole tourist industry in Singapore is almost shut down because there's very few visitors. But now, we can see that the door reopened. There could be more and more people coming. But, however, how to provide better service for the customers and how to provide a much wider access to the customers, that become a challenge in front of Singapore merchants. One of the example is after this pandemic, the customers don't like to order their food through a paper-based menu because they want a contactless service. Right? So what we are trying to do is that we are trying to introduce the different mini program to help the merchant to, for example, to provide a QR code on the table so the customer can scan the QR code and get a menu. They can place a menu and make the payment all on their mobiles without any physical contacts to the menu or to something like that. Or we are providing the merchant marketing programs, mini programs, so the merchant can propagate such kind of mini programs into popular apps in the other country, like some kind of wallets. So when the wallets users fly into Singapore or get close to this merchant, their mobile wallet will remind them that there's a marketing deal. There's some promotions. There's coupons. They can enjoy the merchant's service with a better price. And also some other informations like the map, how to arrive this merchant, like the menus. They can make the order before they arrive the merchants. So there's many very interesting idea is going on. We know that in the past 2 years, because of pandemic, our life is very boring. Our job is also become boring. But when you see the coming years, it's become very interesting and colorful. And for us, the biggest change is that people open their mind to digitalized service. This is make us exciting.
If I were to ask you to picture the future of fintech, right, where do you see mobile payments in 10 years?
Honestly, that's a very big question, and also is a very key question in front of every people in our industry. Of course, we believe that the digital payment or mobile payment will be the future. We believe that cash will gradually disappear from the street. We believe that the future is belong to the mobile payments and belong to digital service. But how it will become, it's hard to say. Number one is that we believe that especially in the developing countries, because they have much larger populations, which still not covered by bank card service. Then on the other side, we can see that our peoples, our customers, especially the younger generations, they're very open-minded to digitalize the service and the mobile payments. And we can see that when the technology keep going on, so it's become easier to connect the customers and the service providers. And a lot of information exchange will happen on your phone, will happen remotely. And people get used to use such kind of digital service, and they also start to trust such kind of online service or remote service. Merchant has to become more digitalized. So what will happen in the next 10 years? I cannot give you a very accurate image or picture about that, but I'm very excited. I know that it's going to be good. It's going to be beautiful. Again, the reason I don't want to give you a more accurate picture, because as I said, right, we have to recognize that we don't know a lot of things. So let's respect and let's just be our part, honest player in this trade. Try our best to make it happen and make it better.
Alright, that has been illuminating. Thank you for joining us today, Panda. We feel that we have gotten to know you quite a bit more.
Thank you, everyone. It's also my honor to join this show.
You're always welcome back. That was Jia Hang, aka Panda, Regional General Manager for Southeast Asia at Ant Group. That's it for today's episode of AntKast. To make sure not to miss a single episode, please subscribe on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Emmeline, coming to you from Singapore. Thank you for listening and bye for now.